And good morning, everyone. Here we have our first ever episode of Sports Resort. So here on Sports Resort, it's just five friends talking about some sports. We all know a lot about sports. It's going to be a lot of fun. Here, my name is Sean Retta. I am a Cowboys and Yankees fan. I love both of them, and I'm so happy about the improvements that they've made on both teams. Next, we have Arv Duval.
Hi, my name is Arv Duval. I'm a huge football and baseball fan. I'm a Colts and a Cubs fan. Let's take it over to Russell Sage.
I'm Russell. I like the Giants and the Yankees too, and the Miami Heat. I mostly like the New York teams and Miami teams, but I'm mostly an NFL guy. And we got Joe.
I'm Joseph. I like the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Yankees, and the New York Rangers. They're all three of my favorite sports, and I watch them a lot. Let's get it over to Austin.
I'm Austin. I like the Browns and the Miami Heat. The Browns and the Miami Heat. I'm a football fan and a basketball fan. Sean, you can go.
All right, so now once we got our introductions out of the way, here we are now going to talk about the Thursday night football game where the San Francisco 49ers beat the Seattle Seahawks 21-13. What are your guys' initial thoughts on just the game overall?
I think Brock Purdy is the next Tom Brady.
I personally agree with that. You see, Brock Purdy, he went into position. He was the last pick of the draft. He went from nobody to somebody in like 2 weeks. He took over Jimmy Garoppolo's position and filled his shoes, and I think more. I believe he's going to be a good quarterback if the San Francisco 49ers decide to start him next season.
I believe that too also. In 2 games already, he's already thrown for
6 touchdowns and an interception.
Yeah. And
Very
yesterday
good.
he was 17 for 26, 217 yards. Mm-hmm. And that's amazing because we went from Mr. Irrelevant to one of the most relevant guys in the NFL right now. And that's just unbelievable. There's nothing really more to say. We've never seen this before.
In his last 3 games, he's thrown for 600 yards and 6 touchdowns. And that's gone from he's put up almost 0 fantasy points. He hasn't started. He went negative in week 5 a little bit. And then 13, 14, 15 weeks, he's doing very good.
No, the closest thing we've seen to this is Tom Brady. Now, he won't be an actual Tom Brady, but
Nobody's saying that.
Nobody will ever know that.
Joe, what's your opinion on Brock Purdy?
Well, he beat Tom Brady in his first career ever starting,
Yeah, that's
so
amazing.
that is probably like the best thing that can ever happen in your first game. So I think the 49ers will go a long way in the playoffs. They could make the Super Bowl, but I don't think they could win a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy.
Austin, your opinion?
Honestly, you keep talking about Purdy, but I really think San Francisco had a chance there. Not San Francisco. Seattle had a chance there. Oh, my gosh. Geno Smith, he's been doing pretty good, too. In his last 3 games, he's thrown over more than 800 yards.
I disagree. I don't think
7
Geno Smith
touchdowns.
is good.
Yeah, I think Geno Smith has been overrated
I think he
all
gets
year.
I
Very
think
nice
Geno
team.
Smith is I think he's top, as of now, I think Geno Smith is top 10.
Yeah, I'm not comparing to Tom Brady or anything, but he's been doing pretty good for his age. Taking after Russell Wilson, that's
I think he's about as good as Cooper Rush, and maybe a little bit better.
I don't agree with that.
yeah,
I think he's just a Kirk
lot
Cousins,
better
bro.
than
He's
Cooper
Kirk
Rush.
Cousins.
He's just
I
Kirk
agree with
Cousins.
that.
I
think
agree.
He's Kirk
He's
Cousins.
close
He's some
to
good
he's
games,
much
some
closer
bad
to Kirk
games.
Cousins.
Look, if there's one thing that we can all agree on, Geno Smith is definitely just a game-managing quarterback. He has the skills, but he also has the core around him, like the
Absolutely. That's why I don't like people putting him in the top 5.
exactly. He's not a
He's
top.
not
I don't know how people say he was MVP candidate. He was
he's
never
not.
an
He's
MVP
not. He's not.
candidate.
It's just because
At best, he's a comeback player.
If he makes the Pro Bowl, I don't even know.
The only reason he was considered top 5 is because at his first 5 games he was stellar. He was doing
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And now he's gone back
Who
to.
did he play in
He's
his
not
first
as bad
5
as he
games?
was in 2013
he's
to
not bad,
2020.
but he's like an average quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
He's pretty
solid.
old,
He's
too,
a good,
isn't he?
Yeah,
Like
for
32.
his age, he's doing pretty
He's
good.
done a couple more seasons.
I think he's like a solid 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So what do you guys think about the 49ers defense?
They're the
So
best in the league.
I disagree.
No,
with
I
that.
disagree with that.
Very
They are
good
definitely one of
defense.
the best cores in the league by far. Kyle Shanahan has done an amazing job with game managing them and having
Yeah,
them,
I mean-
but they're not the
Let's
best.
see what
They
they let
are.
up.
Yeah.
Against Geno, they let up 31 completions out of 44 attempts.
It's not even that. Look at the offenses
250
they
yards.
played. They played a lot of below average offenses, and you can put the Jets. So by that logic, you can put the Jets defense as one of the best in the league. They played a lot of below average offenses, and yet they're amazing. So
The Jets defense?
yeah,
They got a really young, they got a talented defense, and I think that's the only reason they're doing decent.
Exactly.
So then what defense do you think is better right now, Cowboys or 49ers?
Definitely the Cowboys.
Cowboys by
I
far.
hate to say it.
Yeah. As
I mean, stats are right.
Yeah,
The most points they've given up is 31.
which was what team, Joe? To 31 to who?
The Packers.
Yeah, and the Packers, they went off that game. Like that was probably their best game of their season.
They always
right now.
play good against the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's like a curse for Dallas. Just how like Minnesota is Dallas curses Minnesota. Almost every time Dallas plays Minnesota, they beat them. Same with Green Bay to Dallas. And like it's coincidentally funny that right after the Green Bay game, Dallas puts up 40 against Minnesota.
Right.
And that's all because of the O-line that the Vikings have. And I think that's the reason they're not going to make it anywhere.
Well, the Vikings' defense is also awful, too.
Their defense is terrible.
Their defense is terrible.
And
So let's
they
go-
have Justin Jefferson.
So let's go to the Vikings. Let's name our top 3 biggest frauds in the NFL today. Who do you think doesn't show their record
Dolphins by far. I think the Dolphins had a really good start to the season, but Tua getting injured, let them lose those 3 games, it just let the entire season just go down.
Tua was awful in the Chargers game.
I don't think
He
Tua's
threw,
been the same since
threw,
that injury.
I disagree with that. I think he's an amazing quarterback.
That
And I
is
think-
true.
He is definitely an
Best
amazing
passer
quarterback.
in the-
But like after that concussion, something like went wrong, and then he got concussed a game after.
I think it's
Taking
like,
that toll in one season.
It's not
That's
good.
like emotionally damaging.
Exactly.
No, I
went
think
from,
he
like-
got concussed, and I think the second concussion just knocked him right back into place. And I think he's better than ever right now.
No,
But Russell, I
no.
think like at the before concussion, Tua was like top 2 in the league. Now I think he's like top 5 or top 6.
I think he's better than that. I would put him at the top 5 at least.
Okay, that's fair. I understand.
Can you
that.
name 5 quarterbacks better than Tua right now?
Patrick
no,
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes,
Burrow,
Josh Allen,
No.
Jalen
Josh Allen,
Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
The way
Um,
Josh Allen's currently playing, I would take Tua over him.
I would
I
not.
would
I would
too.
not.
Do
I
you
would
not
take.
see who
I would
Josh
take
Allen-
Josh Allen any day, bro.
Exactly, Joe's right. Have you seen the teams?
He's not reliable in the red
Not
zone.
only does
He's not.
not only does Tua have the best wide receiver core in the league, he has
Ooh.
Tyreek Hill. He has
What about
Jalen
that?
Waddle. Name one other
Bro,
core better
Jalen
than
Waddle
that.
and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, tell me
The
one core better
Bills,
than
the
that.
Bills, are you crazy?
Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. You think
Stephon
that
Diggs,
Bro, Gabe Davis is so
They have
overrated.
Isaiah McKenzie.
he's good, but he's
They just
not.
signed
Gabe
back
Davis,
another-
I think Gabe Davis is slightly overrated. He
Michael
makes like
Gallup
a
is
He
good.
is.
Like,
He's
because-
underrated.
Gabe Davis
If he's-
is overrated. I'll give you that.
He
but
is.
he's
Because
an
like he'll make
underrated
a
second.
great catch and then like that'll be on like Sports Center for like a week or two.
Yeah,
and
like
then,
that
he'll
98-yard
do
touchdown.
nothing.
Yeah.
Isaiah McKenzie at wide receiver 3 is crazy because he'd be wide receiver 1 on so many other teams. And that's 3.
Wide
Same with
receiver
Gabe
two.
Davis.
Wide
Wide
receiver,
receiver
two.
2.
I put him
really,
at 1.
a
if you
really
look at it in
high-end
numbers.
wide receiver too. That's what I'll give him. But
I could agree with that.
So, back
but,
on-
I mean, it's still crazy.
yeah, which it is. So back on point. Who do you guys think is the top 3 frauds in the NFL right now?
The
Dolphins
Ravens, the
definitely part of it.
Vikings, and the Dolphins.
I think
See-
Vikings. I'm not sure about Ravens because Ravens have been banged up.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Lamar
They're-
being
no.
injured.
No,
Bro,
that's, like,
no.
not
If you're
good.
gonna
so
say
many
that, if
leads
you're
in
gonna
the
say that,
beginning
then the
of the year,
49ers
when
are
they
And
won
frauds
also,
too.
they're still winning games
It's a
without
coaching
Lamar.
job, I
Exactly.
think.
Their defense has like shown up these last 2 weeks. They only gave what like less than what was it 10 points. They gave 10 points to the
I think-
Steelers. I think.
I
Yeah,
think
but the Steelers'
Patriots
offense
are
is really
legit.
Yeah,
bad.
but
That's
Kenny Pickett
fair.
got hurt. Even if he didn't get hurt, it wouldn't
So,
have been good.
Kenny
sorry,
Pickett is
Russell, what
not
were you
that
saying?
good. I think the Patriots are legit. I think the Lions are legit. I think the Bears have a possibility to be legit.
I disagree with the Bears, and I
Nah.
slightly disagree with the Patriots.
I
I
think
think
the
the Lions
Patriots
are
are legit.
legit because this is the one team, like, this team plays with so much heart, like, more than any other team. Dan
Yeah, they don't
Campbell,
have
I
the
think, is the
talent.
most emotional coach since Pete Carroll.
But that doesn't.
But I
do
know,
much.
I know that doesn't mean much, but, like, for, like, a Detroit team that's always been, like, 3 wins or under, like, for this year, this means, like, so much to them, and if they can make a playoff spot, that'd be monumental for their future.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I don't think they're making the
they,
playoffs. but
if they get it,
they got some good players.
yeah.
though.
I mean, they're set up for the draft. They got the Rams' fourth overall pick. I mean, and
Yeah,
then
they're
if
not-
they
they're
get
not
it into
making
the
the playoffs,
playoffs, I mean, good for them.
No.
That's good for morale. But they get they can go from 2 top 10 picks, which they had, to a late mid-round pick.
in the NFC, they're not making it into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But think about it, because Giants are on a major slide.
Alright,
I know
well,
you know.
still gonna make it.
Washington, no, they're on the up, but Giants and Seattle are going down. I
agree.
feel.
Seattle's played some good teams. I'm
I know
glad
they're playing
that
good
Seattle's
teams,
going
but they're
down.
still losing them,
I
which is
think
giving
the,
Detroit an opportunity.
The 49ers in the NFC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got the 49ers. You got You got the not the Chiefs. The Bills. Are the Bills in the NFC?
No, Bills are AFC.
You got the Vikings, you got the Cowboys, you got the Eagles, you got the 49ers. I think that's 4 teams that are better than them.
Can we just backtrack for a bit? You guys talked about the Giants in Washington. What do you think of their predictions for the game? Because
The Giants are going to win.
It's going to be a pretty important
It's
game.
going to be a very important game due to playoff standings. Look,
Yeah.
not
I
all,
hope
all
they
not-
lose because I want them
The
to
Giants?
get. Yeah, I want them to get better, set up better in the draft. I don't think they have.
At this point, you can't get set up better in the draft. Like you're
They
you're
don't
already
have
gonna
a
you're
Super
gonna get
Bowl.
a
Too
you're gonna
high.
have a
You're
You're
yeah,
too high. Like you have a
exactly.
winning
You have
record
too many
after week
wins.
15.
Yeah, they don't have a Super
I
Bowl
think you should
possibility.
try to
I
make
think.
the playoffs to get some experience.
I
for
think
the
they'll make the
players in there.
playoffs. Hopefully, because with the Seahawks going down, now they got a
They
tough
have the-
schedule.
they
I
have the
think.
seventh
But Washington's
wild card.
also going up. So you have to think about Washington, the
Washington-
Cowboys,
Yeah,
Eagles.
Taylor
all in their
Heineke-
league.
Washington's been, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they were 6-1-1 in their last 8
yes,
games.
yes. And
And
think
Wa-
about that. Think about that. After Carson Wentz, that shows how good Taylor Heineke really is.
Yeah.
After
Yeah.
Carson Wentz got
He's
injured,
got that dog in him.
as Russell said, yes. So let's move on to a different game. How about a game which means a lot to the Vikings and Colts? If they win this game, then they clinch the NFC North. But they just got absolutely walloped last week without any other terms. Who did they play last week? The Lions?
The Lions.
Yep.
Yeah, the Lions. You lost to the Lions, the worst defense in the league. Yeah, granted they have one of the better
Aiden
offenses.
Hutchinson.
Yeah. They have
Aiden
a good
Hutchinson, but
defense.
like
No,
look
but
at their
if you look at
secondary.
stats
Look at
wise-
look at their
It's
secondary.
No,
It's a
actually, you know
young
what?
team.
I think
I think
Seattle,
that's a
like
good thing.
stats wise, starting like since like week 14, week 13, I think Seattle has been considered a worse defense than Detroit. They're still bottom 2.
They're definitely bottom 2, but they're. I may have over exaggerated a little bit, but they're definitely one of the worst defenses in the league.
Yeah, by far.
So how does that affect the Vikings' morale, like going into this game?
don't
I think
they
it
They're
could
need
down
affect
right
it all.
now. They just lost to the Lions.
I think
I
it
still
could.
think they have a chance because you're fighting the Colts. The Colts are not that good of a team.
Colts are a
so,
terrible team.
Honestly,
You see,
They're probably
I
one of the worst teams.
You see,
in the
I
NFL.
agree.
Facts.
Yeah, I completely, wholeheartedly agree with that. But the thing is, the Colts' defense. I mean, if you look at the stats, they're one of the better defenses in the league.
I disagree.
I
How do you
well.
disagree with that?
They're a terrible team.
and
That doesn't mean they're
Take into
defense
account
is
just
Vikings
all-around
offense.
terrible.
No, I
Justin Jefferson
understand.
put some numbers. Even with the
Stephon
defense.
Justin
Stephon
Jefferson's-
Gilmore is considered a top 5 cornerback right now. You
I
understand
understand
that, right?
where
Put
Art's
him on
coming
Justin
from.
Jefferson. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Let's see.
He locked up Devontae Adams.
That means
Devontae
nothing.
Adams
Devontae
is
Adams
trash.
I mean, actually,
Overrated.
No,
Arv
I
could- he
understand
could be
where
right.
Arv is coming from.
Arv
I
could be
agree
right.
that their defense, because think about it, their game against Philly, they
They gave up 17 points to a high-powered offense.
to like probably like top 2, if not top 1. But no, maybe not top 1, like top 2, top 3 best offense in the NFL.
Have they played the Cowboys yet?
Yeah, they did.
Colts
okay,
played the Cowboys.
What
So,
happened?
so
No,
look,
happened
but
when
that's
they played
because
the
of the
Cowboys?
So
Okay,
they
that
we
was,
let
just,
up 50
that was
That was
more
'cause of the
turnovers than
turnovers.
anything.
Yeah.
That was more the
Matt
offense. The
Ryan-
reason
Matt
why
Ryan
the Colts
is
are not
washed.
winning, the reason why the Colts are not winning is because of their offense.
it's not even the off. It's 2 things on their offense. The main parts, the offense, the outside offensive line. They're playing god awful, but also that's
Don't
in
they
part.
have one of the best offensive linemen.
We
in the
used to
league?
not any. So after
still have
Brady,
Quentin Nelson.
Quentin Nelson. there?
Quentin Nelson, or I said the out anterior. The interior is fine. We have Ryan Kelly, we have Quentin Nelson, and we have Matt Pryor. Matt
so-
Pryor isn't holding his own right now, but it's not really his fault. He's
Let
going
me
up
let me
against-
ask you, Rob. Since you're a Colts fan, you should know. What do you think happened, man? I mean, they have 2 amazing offensive linemen. You don't think that
After
they can
you
teach
got-
the other rookies?
After they got paid, they just stopped. Like Braden Smith got
Like
4
Kenny
years,
Galladay.
$80 million. Quentin Nelson, I think it was around 5 years, $100 million. And then we have a lot of inexperience. Like Matt Pryor, this is his first time actually starting. What's his name? Brendan Raymond. He's like really inexperienced. Like this is his first year.
So
Because you
Well,
go.
let's get off the Colts for a minute.
no. Stay on the Colts. What do you think happened from last year to this year with their team? Because they were a great team
Matt
last year.
Ryan. Matt Ryan. I agree completely with Sean. We had Carson. Yeah, granted, Carson Wentz is like really
Oh, I
bad.
forgot about Carson
Carson
Wentz
Wentz
playing.
is
No,
on
amazing.
because here's
Yeah,
the thing.
Prescott's
Carson
always
Wentz on
been
the
He was
Colts
he was
solid.
mobile. He was mobile.
Wentz was solid.
That's
Matt-
no way to describe Carson Wentz.
Carson
He
Wentz
is
is
very
not a
mobile.
mobile
He didn't get
QB.
hurt a single time. He was mobile. He was able to evade pressure. But now, like Matt Ryan, he can't move. He can't evade pressure. Sure, he breaks a sack once in a moon.
Yeah,
That's
I
because he's
fumbled
like
that.
40.
Exactly.
Can we get
So
off the Colts?
Okay, we've been
Yeah,
on the
let's
Colts
get
for
off
now.
the
like.
No, I
Speaking
wanna-
of important
let's
games,
talk about the
wanna look
next
at
Yeah, we
the-
gotta talk about important games. Like I think.
I want to look at the Jets game.
let's let Austin speak for a second.
as a Browns fan, this is the The Browns
Yeah.
have one chance left to get
Important
the playoffs.
games. Yeah.
If the Browns win against the Ravens, they still have a chance to get the playoffs. They have a chance to get
Austin.
wild card.
I'll bet all my
Austin.
money the Browns do not make the
No,
playoffs.
They're
No,
not. They're not
Austin.
winning.
That's a bet I'll
Deshaun-
take.
you
I'm
want
not a
to-
better man.
Deshaun Watson has been statistically playing worse than Jacoby Brissett. How do you describe
nothing. That means nothing.
How does that mean
means
nothing? That
everything.
means
They're-
everything.
They're completely different players.
Football for
Watson
2
is
years.
on the rise. He has been out for 3 years almost.
Why was he out for 3 years?
I wonder why.
After that
Austin.
absence, though, I wonder if he can come back.
I don't
to,
think he's gonna come back.
Remember, and
to his original potential. You know, he was
2020,
an amazing quarterback.
exactly, he was an amazing quarterback. He can get that again. Just
Can he?
because-
No, I
Can
know.
he?
Honestly,
How
I
can
think
he?
Austin,
Yes, he
Austin
went
has
from-
a point.
He
Thank
went.
you.
He's
Kevin
lost
Stefanski.
3 years.
He has
He's
his.
lost
doesn't
about
matter.
27 cases. Now it's happening next. I don't think he returns
Austin,
to
how do you
that potential.
understand him being bad when he has Amari Cooper as his best wide receiver?
Listen, Amari Cooper's a good receiver.
He's a very good receiver.
Amari Cooper
but
was
also
keeping
at
the
the same
Browns
wait,
in
hold on,
games.
hold on. At
Deshaun
the
is
same
very
time,
skilled.
the Browns had one of the best.
I'll give you that. He does have potential. He's a really skilled player. He's quick. I mean, you can compare him to Jalen Hurts.
I agree with that, but the Browns have like statistically one of the better offensive lines in the league.
Yes,
Exactly.
by far.
And,
terms
and
of
Deshaun
players.
Watson's still averaging like 100 passing yards
But
a
no.
game.
Yeah, honestly,
No,
I do
listen,
think this is fully
Deshaun Watson has gotten practice over the offseason. He'll get better.
All right, guys. So one last thing about Watson before we go to, well, like my last thing. So Watson, I think next year Watson will become a much better quarterback. He has little experience.
I think it depends on the draft. It depends on the players. And it
Their
depends.
offensive line is great. They're giving him enough time. He's just got to execute throws, and that's just because of inexperience.
And I
It's-
think
it's all
the
about the
Browns
offseason.
team
All
about
really
his
relies on
mentality.
Deshaun
The Bra-
Watson because they
the
don't have any
Browns-
draft picks
yeah.
next year.
The Browns' next future depends on their offseason this year.
Yep.
And also okay, folks. Well, we have 3 minutes left, so
We should do predictions.
yeah, we should do predictions.
All right,
so.
first, I want to say Jets Lions. What do you guys think's gonna happen? Let me tell you.
Lions, 100% the Lions.
100%.
Mike White is
the
out.
Jets are on
Mike
the
White
White
is
is out.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Lions
they're-
win
I
that.
think
Lions
Lions,
win
but
that.
it's closer than you think.
No, he
No,
is not
no,
playing.
Lions.
Is
The
Joe
starting
Flacco?
quarterback.
Is Joe
no,
Flacco or
the starting
Zach
quarterback
Wilson?
is Zach Wilson.
They're losing.
All right.
All right. How about Eagles Bears? It's a really
Eagles,
easy, really
No,
easy game.
but one
Eagles.
question on the Eagles. Is there any team out there besides Dallas that could beat the Eagles? Do you
The
think
49ers.
So,
The
San
49ers.
No,
NFC
I meant
The
like in the
Chiefs.
regular season that's left.
Oh.
San
verse-
Francisco.
Oh,
no,
Giants.
they don't
There's a
verse San
chance.
Fran in the regular
The
season.
Giants.
It's this. I think
I
honestly,
do think the Giants have.
I don't
a
think so.
chance.
There's a chance.
I think the Saints do. And hear me out.
The Alvin Kamara.
Saints?
I understand because the Bears, I don't think they're gonna win. Eagles will demolish them. Then they verse Dallas, which all right.
All right. Panthers Steelers. Real quick.
Panthers Steelers. I
Panthers.
got
I got Panthers. If Panthers win,
I
they
got
could
the
easily
Steelers.
make the playoffs, take over Tampa Bay.
I've
spot.
got
I don't-
Steelers. Listen,
Let's do
Kenny
the Sunday
Pickett
night
throws
game.
Pickets, but he's still a good quarterback overall.
All right, let's end it
Oh,
off
guys,
with
I
the
gotta-
Sunday night game. Who do you guys think is gonna win? The New York Giants or the Washington football team?
As we
Washington
said, I
It's the
think
Commanders.
it's gonna be the
Washington by far.
Commanders.
I think Washington wins. I know, Russell, you don't want to hear that. Also, one monumental game that could
not gonna
change up the
happen.
playoff picture: Bengals-Bucks.
Bengals.
Bengals.
Bengals win
Bengals.
a blowout.
The Bengals.
Jamar
Tom
Chase
Brady.
drops 2 touchdowns and
Facts.
100 yards.
Who's gonna beat the Bengals, bro? Nobody.
No one.
That's not
No,
true. That's not true.
That's
That's
not true. Bengals can have an off day, and we've seen it before. Like the first 2 weeks when they versed Dallas and
It's just because Dallas defense
They brought
is
it
good.
together, man.
And the
They brought it
Steelers.
together.
And the Steelers.
the Steelers. Bengals lost to both of them. They have
Bengals are in the Super Bowl.
All right, guys,
I
we have
promise
1
you.
minute left. All right, ready? Are the Jets frauds?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
They're led by a bad schedule or really easy schedule and a great defense. So with that thought, let's wrap up.
All right. Everyone, thank you for watching the first ever episode of Sports Resort. We'll be back next Friday, and we hope you tune in next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.